morning and happy Monday! I'm Monica Wofford and this is your Monday Moment. A little more up close, personal, maybe just one-on-one this morning, because I want to talk turkey about an issue that's pretty important. And frankly, it's something even I did incorrectly when I first started managing and then leading. It's what not to do when coaching employees. And any number of these 7 things, if you were to include them in your coaching conversations, they can make the performance worse, the attitude even more challenging, and the behavior even less reasonable. So let's talk about what not to do when coaching employees. There are actually 7 behaviors we'll look at, and these are not behaviors of the employees we're talking about, but behaviors of you and I, the leaders, performing the coaching. The first step is don't bottle up your feelings or emotions. You and I both know that there is only so much room to bottle up those emotions, and that once you run out of room, as I've mentioned before, watch out, Katie bar the door, because here come all these emotions. But also, it's just not appropriate. When you bottle up how you feel about someone coming in late, or not doing their job, or rolling their eyes, or giving you a snarky look, or making that snarky, sarcastic comment, it creates a history and a series of precedents that only serve to increase your frustration when it comes time to do the actual coaching conversation. Don't bottle things up, don't put them off, don't delay the conversation until you think you have enough evidence. The sooner you address something that requires coaching, the faster you start making an impact on their behavior. Second item or action not to do. Don't overreact. Part of this is cyclical, because the more you bottle up all those feelings and emotions, the more you are likely to explode and overreact, and to really be in their face and maybe be excessively aggressive or overly hurt or say something that maybe you shouldn't have. So try your best to approach a coaching conversation when you've had adequate sleep, a key important though difficult factor, when you're not overly stressed, when this is not item 15 on a list of 83 different items that you need to address today. Make sure your reactions are measured, appropriate for the situation, and directed only to that person and not perhaps 7 or 8 other elements that happen to be influencing your behavior that day. Third, certainly don't attack the person. Don't come at them. Don't launch at them. Certainly I don't mean physically or literally, but so often we do this verbally. Don't attack a person's character. Don't attack who they are. Certainly don't attack their background, their heritage, their race, their beliefs. Good gracious, that really should go without saying. But when it comes to coaching conversations, there are many employees who will already be on guard and therefore already be bracing for impact. The less you can provoke what I would call defensive measures, the more effective you're going to be in influencing their performance or perhaps their behaviors. If you feel a need to attack, transfer the conversation to perhaps a leader colleague or a fellow manager. Maybe it's not you the one that needs to deliver that information. And fourth, it's so easy, but so damaging. Don't blame up in your coaching conversations. You may find that when you're coaching someone on not getting their work done on time, or not being able to provide high quality output, or not being able to sell the suite of new products that have just been introduced, that they come up with a pretty darn good argument that has nothing to do with you, but your boss's boss, and senior leadership. Be careful not to engage in the act of blaming up and not to become part of that conversation because it usurps your authority and then leads us to this next action that will damage your coaching. The next item for you to avoid as an effective leader when coaching employees is not only to not blame up, but don't buddy up. Maybe that employee points out something and you think, you bring up a darn good argument. Maybe you're right. Maybe I shouldn't have come at you so hard, or maybe I shouldn't have decided we needed to talk about coaching, or, maybe you're right. Maybe I shouldn't put you on a plan or really focus on your performance because, gosh, I know you're trying and I know you're going to do better. Leadership is not about the buddy system. It doesn't mean you can't be their friends, but the moment you give up your authority, the moment you lose focus or lose track on the point of your conversation, you then train that employee how to work over, work around, supersede your future efforts. So don't blame up, it's your responsibility. And don't buddy up for fear of having to follow through on your coaching actions. In fact, that leads us to our next step. When you're coaching employees, one thing to certainly not fail or forget is follow up on your consequences. Don't dole out consequences in coaching conversations and then forget you said anything. Or don't dole out consequences or rewards for that matter and then forget to follow up on their performance so that you can give out the rewards or dole out the consequences. When you are asking them to change or asking them to improve, yet you forget to follow through, conveniently so will they, and it'll bring you right back around to the very step one part of your conversation that brought you to this list to begin with. Oh, but there is one more step that I forgot that I don't want you to miss, and that is don't backpedal. I put this one at the end on purpose because sometimes we go, oh yeah, I forgot to say that, and we'll backpedal into a part of our coaching conversations. When you start down the road of, okay, Susie, I have these dates in which you've been tardy. I have these dates in which you've not met quota. I notice that you're not providing our new product. You're not making sales notes. I notice that you continue to hinder the performance of Becky because every time you walk by her, you say something snarky. Whatever the issue is that you're addressing, if you then back down off your evidence or lessen or simplify or make it not as important for fear of creating a conflict or fear of delivering bad news or having a conversation that might be difficult, you then have not only trained that employee how to get around you holding them accountable for their performance, but you've also trained yourself that you don't have to finish the conversation, that subtlety in coaching is effective, and that you don't have to work through the courage of giving someone performance guidance in your leadership position. These 7 pitfalls, while very, very common, are also very damaging. Try your best not to incorporate them. Practice. Avoid bottling up, blaming up, buddying up. Avoid your overreactions, your attacks, your backpedaling, and your lack of follow-through. And you'll find your coaching is not only far more effective, but their performance is too. I'm Monica Wofford, and that's your Monday Moment. Sign up, mondaymoment.com if you don't get them already. And have a great Monday, an even better week, and of course, stay contagious.